Okay, let's do the next question. Gabrielle used a circuit tester to test different points of a circuit card. Her results are shown in the table below. Sorry, just remove that green thing. Okay, so I have a circuit card here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this to a circuit, okay, which comprises of a battery and a light. So whenever it's connected, it will show a continuity, then it will light up, right? So but this is one way to do it. You can actually add it one by one. So let's look at the first point, A and B. Okay, if I were to put A and B here, will it light up? Yes, it will, right? Okay, so if A and B, because there's a flow, can you see this? There's a flow through this, alright, back to the battery, and therefore this is a closed circuit. So number one seems to be possible. How about number two? Number two is also a connection between A and B. Or let's do it one by one. We know that number four, you can't do number four. Why? Number four can't be the answer. Okay, look at number four. If I were to put number four here, and you don't have to do this in the PSLE or in your exam, you do not have to do this. But I'm just going to show it to you so that you can see the thought processes in my head. Okay, if I were to put A and B here like that, right, it will not light up because you see the current will flow from the battery to the light bulb, but it cannot go between this wire here to this point here. So because of that, we know that number 4 is not correct. Okay, so number 4 is not correct. Okay, so I'm gonna erase this first. Okay, so we know that number 4 is not correct. Alright, so what I would normally do is just to cross it out like that with a pencil. I use red here so that you can tell, but in the exams I would normally use a pencil so that I know I don't even have to think of number 4 because the first point here is wrong. Let's look at the B and C. Now if I were to put B here, okay, and C here, it will not light up, right? Why? Why won't it light up? Because as you can see, there's no connection. Okay, so if I were to go from the trace the electricity, it goes through here B, but it will not go through C. Can you see that? Okay, so that's another one. Let's look at B and C here. B and C, if I were to put B and C here, it will actually light up. Can you see that? B and C, it will light up. But here the table says B and C does not light up. So that means, what does that mean? That means option 3 is also wrong, right? Because of this point here, B and C should not light up. But here, B and C seems to be lighting up. So number 2, B and C seems to be lighting up. Okay, sorry, B and C seems not to be able to light up. So if I were to put this here, right, if I were to put this circuit card here, you can see that if I were to put here B and then I put here C, it will not light up, right? Because there's an open circuit. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that 2 is still in the running. 2 can still be the answer. How about C and D? You can see that here that C and D, okay, if I were to put C and D here, C, okay, 1 point here, and D, 1 point here. Will it light up? It will not, right? It will not light up. Why? Because there's no closed circuit. So if there's no closed circuit, that means option 1 is still possible. Now let's look at option 2 again. Would C and D light up? Okay, you can actually just do this again. Let's see, C, okay, and D will also not light up. So that means number 2 can still be the answer. Okay, can you see that? If there's any point in my video you don't understand, you can actually press pause, and you can actually replay. Okay, that's the good thing about learning through videos. If you don't understand any part, or if I'm going too fast, you can actually pause and you can actually replay to see my thought processes. Okay, so we have done C and D. Let's look at D and E. Alright, D and E will not light up. So if you were to put the D and E here, it will not light up because D is on its own, not connected to anything. D and E on option 2 is the same. E this time is not lighted up. So both are still in the running. Now let's look at E and F. E and F will light up. Okay, but this is where we can eliminate option 2. You can see that E and F, if you were to put the wires here, okay, if I put the wires here, 1, I'm going to use, because I don't want to, E here and F here, will it light up? No, it will not light up, right? Why won't it light up? Because there is no connection here. So imagine if you are if the current is allowed to flow here, it goes down here, and then it goes down here, and then it goes to E, and then there's no way for it to continue to F. Can you see that? So if there's no way to continue to F, that means this will not light up. But here you see that E and F will light up. So that means circuit 2 cannot be the answer. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So if circuit 2 cannot be the answer, that means you're left with circuit 1. Okay, circuit 1 is the answer. Let's check again. So A and F, there's a connection. Yes, will light up. Okay, and B and D will not light up. So that's one way for you to check whether whether the options given can be an answer or not. Another way is very simple. Okay, let's just take option 1. Okay, or if I can just repeat this, it's just to see whether there's connection between A and B. So if A and B, there's a connection. Look, okay, I'm gonna use red. Okay, so A and B, there's a connection. So if there's a connection between A and B, that means it will light up. Here A and B, is there a connection? Yes, it will light up. Here A and B, yes, it will light up. Here A and B, there's no connection. Can you see that? Okay, but here they say A and B, there's a connection. That means we know for sure now that number 4 can be wrong. Is wrong, sorry, right? Now let's look at the next one, B and C. B and C should not have a connection. Okay, so here B and C is not, there's no connection, correct? Here B and C has a connection. So if B and C has a connection, that means this is wrong. See, this is a faster way to do it. Alright? Alright, okay, now let's look at the C and D. C and D should not have a connection. No connections, correct. No connections, correct. Okay, let's do D and E. Okay, let's do D and E. D and E should not have a connection. So D and E, no connection. Here, D and E, no connection. So both are still correct. Let's look at E and F. Okay, E and F should have a connection, right? Yes. So here you have a connection, which is correct, and then here no connection. So that means this is wrong. Alright, let's check with the rest. Okay, A and F. A and F should have a connection. Okay, because it lights up. So A and F has a connection, right? Can you see that? A and F has a connection, so it's correct. And then B and D should not have a connection. So B and D no connection. So the answer is number 1. Okay, so I've shown you 2 methods to solve this problem. One is by really attaching a circuit and then tracing the electric flow. You can do that, or you can also just look at the 2 points and see whether there's a connection between. Okay, I leave it to you which method is easier for you. Again, like I said, if I'm going too fast, because I have to work with a 15 minutes limit. Okay, but if you don't understand any part of the video, feel free to pause and then rewind. Okay, use the time bar to just drag it to the point where you want it to repeat again. Okay, or you can just let the whole video go through until the end and then replay it again and again and again until you understand. If you don't understand, go to this website and ask me the question. Tell me that or if you disagree with my answer, alright, just tell me here and we will try to discuss it there. Or if not, on Monday I will get the the necessary if you still don't understand on Monday, you can just approach me and then we can have a discussion. Okay, or I can also set these circuit cards up in the class or in the lab and you guys can have a look at what I mean. Okay, so in the meantime, just go to this website and talk to me. Thank you so much. Bye bye.